Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge, etc. Today I'm going to describe my short story, Learning to Stay Happy Without Expectations. There was a time in Rohan's life when he believed that happiness was something he would receive after achieving everything he wanted. He always felt that one day his dreams would come true when people would understand him completely, when his efforts would be recognized, and when life would finally become easier. He would experience true happiness. Until then, he felt he was only preparing himself for a better future. Rohan was not an unhappy person. He worked hard, cared for people, respected relationships, and always tried to do the right thing. But somewhere deep inside, he carried a habit that slowly started affecting his peace, the habit of expecting too much from everything and everyone around him. Without realizing it, he had connected his happiness with situations that were not always in his control. He expected people to understand his silence without him explaining his feelings. He expected others to remember his efforts without him mentioning them. He expected kindness from everyone because he believes that he was always kind to others. He expected life to reward him fairly because he tried to remain honest. Whenever these expectations were fulfilled, he felt happy. But whenever reality was different from what he imagined, disappointed entered his heart. Slowly, Rohan started feeling tired. He wondered why small things affected him so deeply. Sometimes a simple comment from someone could disturb his entire day. Sometimes a person's changed behavior could make him overthink for hours. Sometimes a delay in success could make him question his own abilities. He realized that the biggest struggle was not always with the outside world. Sometimes the real struggle was happening inside his mind. One evening, while sitting alone after a long and stressful day, Rohan started thinking about his life. He looked back at many moments where he had lost his happiness because things did not happen according to his expectations. He remembered times when he was waiting for appreciation instead of enjoying his work. He remembered moments when he was waiting for people to understand him instead of accepting that everyone has different ways of expressing themselves. That night, he asked himself a simple question: am I losing today's happiness while waiting for tomorrow to become perfect? The question stayed with him for a long time. Rohan slowly began to understand that expectations are not always wrong. Having dreams, goals, and hopes is a natural part of life. Without dreams, there is no motivation to grow. Without hope, life can become meaningless. The problem begins when happiness becomes dependent only on a particular result or a particular behavior from others. He realized that there's a difference between expecting something and accepting something. When we expect, we create a fixed picture in our mind about how things should feel, how things should happen. When reality does not match that picture, we feel hurt. But when we accept, we understand that life can take different paths and still bring valuable lessons. This realization changed the way Rohan looked at his struggles. Earlier, if someone did not respond the way he wanted, he immediately felt rejected. Later, he started thinking differently. He understood that people have their own responsibilities, emotions, problems, and priorities. Someone's silence does not always mean they do not care. Someone's inability to express emotions does not mean a lack of love. Rohan learned that expecting everyone to understand him perfectly was creating unnecessary sadness. Every person experiences life differently. Some people express love through words, some express love through actions. Some people openly share emotions, whilst others silently support from a distance. When we judge people only through our own expectations, we often fail to see their true intentions. Another important lesson learned was about appreciation. For many years, he worked hard because he wanted recognition. He wanted people to notice his dedication. He wanted others to acknowledge his sacrifices. There's nothing wrong with wanting appreciation, but he realized that depending completely on appreciation from others can make a person emotionally weak. He started learning to appreciate himself. He began noticing his own growth. He started respecting his own efforts even when nobody else noticed him. He understood that external appreciation feels good, but inner satisfaction creates a deeper and more stable happiness. Rohan also changed the way he helped others. Earlier, when he did something good for someone, a small expectation remained hidden in his mind. He expected that person to remember his support and help him in return someday. When that did not happen, he felt disappointed. With time, he understood that true kindness becomes more beautiful when it is free from expectations. Helping someone should not become an emotional agreement where we wait for a reward. When we do something good because it when we do something good because it reflects our values, our heart feels peaceful regardless the response we receive. After changing his mindset, Rohan started helping people without keeping a record of what he gave and what he received. Surprisingly, he felt lighter. He discovered that many disappointments disappear when we stop keeping hidden accounts in relationships. Rohan also realized that many people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect time to be happy. They think happiness will come after achieving a goal, buying something, solving every problem, or reaching a certain stage in life. But life never becomes completely free from challenges. There will always be new responsibilities, there will always be new dreams, there will always be unexpected situations. If happiness is postponed until everything becomes perfect, people may spend their entire life waiting. So Rohan started enjoying small moments. He started appreciating peaceful mornings, meaningful conversations, simple family moments, and the beauty of ordinary days. He understood that happiness is not only found in big achievements, many times happiness quietly exists in small moments that we ignore while chasing something bigger. Another major change came when Rohan learned to accept uncertainty. Earlier, when he wanted every plan to work exactly as he imagined, any unexpected change made him frustrated. But slowly he understood that life is not a straight road. Sometimes delays bring better opportunities. Sometimes failures teach lessons that success cannot teach. Sometimes losing something creates space for something more meaningful. He stopped seeing every difficulty as a punishment and started seeing challenges as a part of growth. Rohan also learned the importance of letting go of comparison. Earlier, he often looked at other people's lives and felt that they were happier or more successful. He compared his struggles with their achievements without knowing their complete story. Later, he understood that every person has a different journey. Comparing lives only creates unnecessary pressure. Happiness does not come from having more than others. Happiness comes from appreciating our own journey while continuing to improve ourselves. Over time, people around Rohan noticed that he had changed. He was calmer than before, he reacted less and understood more. He still worked hard, but he was no longer carrying the constant pressure of proving himself. He still cared for people, but he no longer allowed their actions to decide his happiness. The biggest lesson Rohan learned was that peace does not come when life gives us everything we want. Peace comes when we learn to remain balanced even when life does not go exactly according to our wishes. He understood that expectations can quietly become a burden when they control our happiness, but acceptance, gratitude, and self respect can bring freedom. Rohan continued dreaming, continued working, and continued loving people. The difference was that he no longer waited for the world to become before allowing himself to be happy. He finally understood that happiness is not a destination that we reach after everything becomes right. Happiness is a way of living. It is the ability to appreciate the present, accept reality, and find peace within ourselves even when life continues changing. The person who learns to stay happy without excessive expectations discovers a beautiful freedom, the freedom to enjoy life without constantly waiting for someone or something to complete it. Disclaimer: this story is written for inspirational and personal developmental purposes only. It is not intended to provide professional psychological, medical, or therapeutic advice. Every person's emotions, experiences, and life situations are different. Readers should apply these thoughts according to their own circumstances and seek appropriate guidance whenever required. Thank you very much for your patience. Please like and share this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel.